The newly formed Economic Freedom Fighters has gained yet another high-profile member. Advocate Dali Mpofu says has ditched the ANC after serving 33 years with the party. The EFF is led by Julius Malema, who was expelled by the ANC last year. Advocate Dali Mpofu now joins us live in the studio. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Amanda.
Most recently, you have been associated with the Marikana miners and the fight to get funds for their legal representation. Does the move have anything to do with this?
No, nothing whatsoever. I've been at pains to point out that my professional life and my political life are quite separate. Just as I've been practicing law for many, many years, being a member of the ANC, I don't think it's different just because it's another political party.
And how long have you been contemplating this move?
Well, I must admit that it's been a long time coming, particularly after the Mangaung conference, when I saw the type of policies that were adopted there. It said to me that, from a policy perspective, that it looks like we are moving towards the right, and that what we really needed to address the real issues, which are poverty and inequality in this country, was probably a move more towards the left. And to take more radical policies, because if you take into account, for example, the grim statistic that we are the most unequal society in the world, then I think that calls for something extraordinary. It can't be business as usual. And I think that we do need policies that are not just ordinary if we are really going to address the plight of the poor.
Okay, and now you have long-term friends and associates within the ANC. How have they reacted to this move?
Well, I must say I've been pleasantly surprised. About 80% of the people in the ANC that I've spoken to have started by being surprised, but have been supportive, and they understand. I think that shows the maturity of our democracy, that 20 years ago this might have been seen as something too big. But, I think people accept that this is a very deep-felt decision on my part. I mean, even my wife is still a member of the ANC, so I have to deal with that even at home. Yeah. But we've come to terms with the fact that she respects my decision and I respect her decision to stay there.
Is she or any other of your high-profile friends looking to also jump ship, so to speak?
No, not that I know of. Of course, I'd love it if they jumped ship and followed me. But as I say, as much as they respect my decision, I would respect theirs if they didn't.
Okay. Now, going back to the EFF, do you plan to actively campaign for the EFF or run for office? Or are you just simply a supporter?
No, certainly I'm not planning to run for any office or even to assume any leadership position. This is something that deals with my own conscience of the issues that keep me awake at night, which I think should be addressed. So I'll assist, obviously, with the campaign. I'll assist wherever I'm asked to assist, but nothing that I personally want to be involved with at the level of, as I say, going to Parliament or assuming any particular position.
Do you think now Julius Malema is a good leader?
Yes, I do. But once again, it's not about individuals. Both my departure from the ANC and my joining the EFF is not really about individuals. It's about the policies that both organizations represent, where I exercise my right to prefer the policies that are being espoused by the EFF, some of which have been ditched, as it were, by the ANC. But yes, as it happens, I do think that Julius Malema is a good leader. But like all leaders, we all have our strengths and we have our weaknesses. I probably have more of those, of the weaknesses. So I'll be the last one to point fingers.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Mpofu, the national elections are just around the corner. Is the move a strategic one on your part, moving at this particular time?
No, not really. Obviously, I have to admit that I am hoping that other people who might have wanted to make the move but are imprisoned by fear. It's not easy to leave an organization that we've belonged to for decades. That if those who would live for the reasons that I'm living for, which is hopefully to take the country to a path where we address the inequalities, and the protest movement that is growing and the violence which is worries me a lot, because much as I support that people should assert their views, but I think that we should give leadership and make sure that the violence that is associated with those protests is minimized or even eliminated. And if we can help even in that small area, then I think it would make a big difference.
Mr. Dali Mpofu, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us.
News that moves. eNCA.com.